Flysurfer Mojo 6.2m. This is my first impressions. I got this at Mike Kite for $5.99. There was tax, but free shipping. So it's awesome. It looks great. There's some scuffs on the front theoretically, which I don't see really, and it's much better condition than the photos, and the implication of it is it works great. Love it. If you're looking for a used hand wing, check out Mac Kite. It was a great experience ordering through them. So what do I think about this hand wing? So the three key words I'd have to say about this is peaceful, it's efficient, and effortless. There's a lot about this hand wing that is great. Like for example, the Wasp B2, the first word to use to it is easy. It's easy to sit on my bottom and get back to the shore. The handles are super easy. So this is, I think, a little bit higher performance in comparison. And yeah, so let's get to all the different variables. I love the windows. The windows work really well to see out of. The angle of it, as for flying, for comfortable casual flying, works really well. Right now it's 15 gusting 20, and that's what I was out at Denny. That's why I'm here at Denny, and yeah, so it's really good. So for pumping to flight, the cool thing about this hand wing, just to sheet in casually and just maintain neutral position, this got up to flight really easily. And it's 15 to 20, so there is some wind, but it just was so easy to get to flight with zero effort. Just I'm up and flying, and I've never felt that way before with my different size hand wings, with my 7-meter slick and my 5-meter Wasp V2. It didn't have that same sensation of just immediate power. With the wingtips giving out a little bit and the deep power in the section, it really had that grunt and the release to not backwind as I'm getting up to flight. For medium effort pumping, that's like with quick jerks or not full body pumping. Back up a little bit. So to get to flight with zero pumping effort, this is awesome. It's really, really high. It might be one of the highest rated wings out there for that. And I have not tried that many, but I was super impressed with no effort to pump flying. So for medium effort pumping, that would be quick jerks, quick pumps, or less effort pumps. This didn't do as well. I mean, it did help to get to power if I was already flying, but when I had some lulls earlier, and it just kind of backwinded. It didn't really have the flick that my 5-meter Wasp B2 does, and what I've also heard, the Strike CWC has this kind of flick, this phantom power for medium effort pumping, and I didn't feel that with this. For max effort pumping, this did great. It had a lot of, you just kind of deep in pump and full body pumps, and it really got me up to flying easily. So that's really good. So I think for this size, I'm going to be super happy as my largest hand wing, but I do believe there are better wings for super light wind for their size than the Mojo, based on what I've seen, especially because you put max effort into every single moment getting flying, and you're going to kind of be tired after a while. So it's not, it's also, effort is important. But yeah, overall, super happy about the lightest wind to flight. On the flip side, when it's gusting up to 20 miles per hour, it did not feel overpowered at all. It felt efficient, slippery. I could easily see me taking it up to 25 miles an hour, maybe a tiny bit more without needing to come in. If it's 20 plus all day long, 20 to 30, I'd probably use the smaller hand wing, but I wouldn't need to come in if it's going to be a gusty day. I could just stay out there and enjoy. Let's see, what else? So, the handles, I have 2 gloves. I was a little cold with just these, and these work really well, but it's a brisk day outside, so I had double gloves. My forearms were a little sore, a little tired, not bad. I stopped before it got too bad. My lats were a little tired, but these handles with these really seem to help, and I think I need to use it barehanded or one glove to really tell, but it felt like it did lock in, and there's a little bit more spring. I noticed some other handles. Obviously, the Slick is the best handle of the system. The boom is amazing. So there's a little bit of give, but it didn't affect pumping, and it didn't affect flight. It seems really good for those variables. Okay, let's go to the tips. So with the tips, if my flying position was like this, so here's the water, and I tapped the tip, it was fine. It just tapped off, no big deal. When I decided to test it, and I had it in line with the water, I actually had to crouch down because it didn't have any problems touching tips, really, other than just a couple of little taps. And I committed to me touching this to the water flat, and I couldn't control it, and it just rolled out, and I lost the hand wing, and then I fell. So it is something to note that I did not feel with my Wasp V2, and also the slick. When I touch the tips and get a full committed touchdown to the ground, it was no big deal. With this, it does roll. So one thing to mention, and maybe another reason to mention, this isn't necessarily the best first-time beginner wing, even though it's amazing, but just a side note. Upwind, downwind, and reaching are all fantastic with this hand wing. It's odd. It felt like I gained more skills after getting this hand wing versus the Wasp V2. It just felt like it just dealt with the wind better, I guess you could say, and it was more at peace with the wind. So I really was going all out with my zigzags today. I did a lot of zigzags, and I tried a number of flying jibes. I was planning to wait, and the main thing is, it kind of, if my feet were on top of my hand, the board just kind of rolled out. So I need to get experience with not having power in the wind and controlling the yaw of the board. I've had like one surfing session in my life, so I'm kind of used to that. And if I have the wing in my hand, I can do zigzags all the day. You go downwind and really upwind. Upwind and reaching, and then slight upwind and full on max reaching. It didn't feel like this had as much resistance compared to my Wasp V2 5-meter. I think that smaller Wasp would be easier, but the way the way this hand wing handles the wind, it seems to go upwind with less effort, and the angle is really good for actually upwind angle. So really impressed with that. I did try slogging on my bum, and this wing flies, it seems, with less wind than my 5-meter. It's really a natural flyer, but when I tried to put the tips in the water, like what I do with my Wasp 5-meter, it just rolled. It didn't work at all. So my thought is, if it's lighter wind, generally speaking, I probably want to be closer to shore with this 6.2 Flysurfer compared to my Wasp V2 5-meter, as that thing I can sit on my bum with 2 miles an hour of wind and casually just come in, and it's no big deal. Where this, it seems like it's just going downwind when I was on my bum. So the other trade-off is, I feel like I need less wind to stay on my feet with this. It's bigger size. It's really efficient with taking every drop of wind. So it's not a big of a deal. So if my minimum wind to stand with my 5-meter was 5 miles an hour, I could probably stand slog with this with 4 miles an hour. So it is a trade-off, and I can paddle back on the board. It floats me fine. But just the thought, if it's really, really light, I actually may want to stay closer with this compared to 5-meter, which was unexpected, actually. I thought I'd be able to sit on my bum and work it just fine, but I was finding that is not the truth of this. So I am super stoked about this. I think it's going to be in my one-wing hand wing. My daughter, I've been showing her videos, and she really likes wing surfing or wing foiling and beach and what kids are doing. So I may keep my 5-meter just for her, so we can kind of play on the beach, and we'll see that, see how that goes. But I think this will be my one-wing quiver for a while. And this is just, I'm at the beach. I'm at Denny. So if you have any questions, I may have an answer for you. I've only owned 3 hand wings, and I'm more along the lines of 15 sessions compared to 150 sessions. So my opinions may change. Also, I noticed, one quick question is, as I was flying, I wanted to fly like this. So this is up and down. And then my back hand, I needed to kind of push down a little bit. Let's see, was it up? Push up? I forget. My backhand, I needed to push a different angle. It didn't naturally fly. It was angling a little bit. So if anyone has an idea on how to make that fly more neutral, overall I was getting tired. My forearm's a little tired, so maybe that wouldn't have been a big deal at all if I was fresh on the session. Max speed for today, 17.7 miles per hour. I got 13 miles range, which is really good for me. That's 13 miles is by far the longest I've ever gone wing foiling, and without a harness. And I don't know how to use a harness with this just yet, but yeah, so with the efficiency, it can get me more miles. And this may be a good hand wing if someone that doesn't want to use a harness, because the other hand wings, my Slick and the Wasp V2, I feel like I'm done a little faster. I can't go out as many times. And for today, my forearm's a little sore, but I haven't been going out for many sessions. So if I just had a little bit more workout in my forearms, or didn't have the double gloves, I think I might have been out there longer and be able to log 20 miles without there being a big deal. But yeah, if you have any thoughts or advice on this, and you own the Mojo, and he's like, oh, Jonathan, hey, do this, let me know. But yeah, if you like this content, like, subscribe, and share, and maybe see you on the water. Cool, bye.